Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Movie Chat with Ant and Rye. And this week we are talking about 2024's Don't Move, directed by Adam Schindler and Brian Nettle. We meet a woman. We don't know her name at the beginning. She kind of is she leaves the house without her phone. She's going off to this beautiful, idyllic scenery place. She's standing on the top of a cliff. She meets this guy named Richard. You know, you think that she's going to jump and she's not going to jump, and they have this kind of interaction where he's, just because someone's broken doesn't mean they're helpless. It kind of brings her back into reality, and where she kind of opens up. She's recently lost her son. He fell off the cliff and he passed away. And it's almost like exactly what she needed. And so they walk back, and it's almost like he's really helped her and brought her back. And then all of a sudden, flip switch, and he electrocutes her and drugs her, and she's got 20 minutes before she's going to be fully paralyzed. And so now she's got to get away from him. And that's where the movie starts. You think that this is going to be the entire movie, but this is the first 30 minutes of the film where and then I really liked the setup, the kind of how she gets away. Then she meets an old man. What was his name? Ben, I think his name was.
Bill.
William, sorry.
Yeah.
Bill.
Good old Bill.
All of it. Good old Bill. Poor Bill.
Yeah, no. Justice for Bill.
Just the progression of events, I thought it was written really well. I know that this film didn't get much of a good write-up. It's been one of those films that everyone's going, they're all kind of panning it. But for what it is, it's actually a very well-written film.
It's well written. It's up there, not perfect. Yeah. There is a few, I guess, if you want to go into the nitty-gritty, a few plot holes, a few plot device and convenient things in there that are a bit too obvious. But the way that it's put together and the way that the tension is created and kept is very good. Something that I really, really liked is how immersive it feels. So she's paralyzed and slowly she's regaining consciousness and trying to twitch and move a little bit her body. It takes a good chunk of the movie for her to do it. And the way that when you're from her point of view and you're hearing all the sounds around her that are completely muffled, how you feel the effort that she's putting into just lifting a little bit her finger, you feel that you are as powerless as the audience as she is. And I really enjoy that. It made my heart beat faster.
Yeah, because it does. The sound muffles at times because obviously this paralytic that the bad guy Richard has injected her with, breathing's laboured. The only thing she can really do is move her eyes. So when she does kind of get away and she miraculously lands on this beach owned by this guy named William. And so he quickly, works out, she can move her eyes. You can blink once for yes, twice for no. And so he's trying to help her, and it's just so tension. And it's a minimalistic film, but it's done really well.
It's done very well for a movie. If somebody is telling you, okay, the main character is not going to be able to talk or move for pretty much the entirety of the movie, you would think, well, this is going to be boring. How are you going to pull that off? I think they kind of do.
Yeah. I loved Richard. He was so great, that actor who plays him.
Finn Wittrock is pretty good. I mean, I know him from American Horror Story, and he fits into this character. He's got a very Patrick Bateman vibe about him, very American Psycho.
I always had. Have you seen Copycat?
He looked like the killer from Copycat. I had that in my note. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Thank you.
He's got this superficial charm about him that you can feel that at the beginning, especially when you don't know that he's a serial killer, or even when he gets on the phone with his family, because he's apparently a loving husband and father, which unfortunately a lot of serial killers are. Right. He's got this charm and manipulative tactic, but you can feel that something is off about him. And I think he does it very well.
Because I went in blind, actually, because I didn't know what this film was going to be about. So when Richard came up, I thought, is he going to be a red herring? Is he going to be someone who, gets killed off early and then the killer is going to be after her? No, it's straight from the get-go. It's him. He's the creep. I loved, there's some really creepy moments when she's starting to get paralyzed, when the ants crawling all over her. You can feel that.
You can feel it.
because everybody's had an ant crawling on them, or everyone's had an ant attack at some stage, and you've had ants crawling on you.
Yeah.
And just to kind of fit, and because they're crawling all over her face, that was well done. I love the camera work. The camera work was really well done.
Yep.
Did you find that?
Yeah, I think it's good. Yeah,
because a lot of the work is inside a car. So there's that first fight in the car when the paralytic hasn't kind of worked its way through a system yet. There's, where they're fighting. It kind of pans like other films we've had where it kind of tilts 90 degrees and stuff like that.
Yeah, there is some good camera angle as well when she is in the car and there is the cop that is coming near her and she sees him and she sees that this is a cop, but this is in the review mirror because the camera is fixed, like she's fixed, paralyzed. She can only face one way. I like that. I felt, it gels with the whole immersive experience that you have with this movie.
Yeah, because you definitely get her point of view a lot. In William's shack, if obviously there's her point of view because she's lying on the couch behind, like William's hidden her, and she can kind of see just their feet, just things like that.
Yes,
I've always wanted to know how do directors just get that in? Have they, when they're setting up this film, do they have that kind of in their minds? This is where I want this camera to be at all times.
I'm guessing,
because I know when we asked about the Paul brothers about that, the director was like, I could have a whole episode just based on just how I think about the camera.
Yeah. I felt that the movie became a bit stale when there were too many dialogues. So not at the beginning, the dialogue when they are near the cliff, just to intro it, I think was engaging and very well done. And you can feel that they have this sort of connection that is being created. And I think that's needed. So then the reveal that happens 5 minutes later with him tasing her is impactful. But then when she starts regaining consciousness and she's able to talk and they are in the car and now talking more about her backstory, about her son and his family, and another backstory, apparently a woman called Chloe that died in a car crash and he witnessed it. This is where I felt, okay, give me the next scene, give me the next tension scene that doesn't sound natural, that doesn't really bring too much. To be honest, I would find it a lot more scary if this guy was just not talking about his backstory or justifying why he does what he does. Yeah, this is where it lost me a little bit. It's not long. It might be like 5 or 10 minutes, but this is where I started fidgeting of, okay, give me the next scene.
Yeah, did we need to know why he kills?
No,
so this is obviously
it's not needed.
Yeah. And then I didn't really buy the fact that he was so quick and easy to kill William and the cop, and then he goes, I've never killed a man before. It's like, oh, okay, that's weird.
I must have killed a lot of women before. Maybe that's what he meant.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's happily killed all these women, but never had to kill a man before.
Yeah, sexist pig.
Right.
There is a theme that is weaved through the movie, is the theme of grief. There is at the beginning, obviously she has lost her son. The guy, Richard, is talking about losing this girl, Chloe. And then I think that's done well. At the end, though, it's the final scene. This is the payoff and she gets away. Spoiler alert. She goes to the riverbank and she says to him, thank you. And I think that means thank you. You helped me go through my grief. You helped me see that life is still worth living. Thank you, through survival. I did not really like that. I thought it was a bit too simplistic. I don't think that grief works this way, was simple. I would have preferred to see her, I don't know, take a big rock and really smash his head to the end and then just go with the little boat she has from her son and the end credits. I think that would have been a lot more impactful. But that's me.
See, I really liked it because obviously when he was telling the story of Chloe, the last thing that they said to each other, I think he told her thank you because in her dying, he said he saw God or he's become God. And so that's why he kills people, because that's the only way he can kind of really feel anything. Yeah. He kills people to feel. And not only the fact that we started the movie with Iris wanting to die, he actually helped her want to live. So
right. So you think it's a callback of like a reverse one. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So then now she wants to live now. So in this whole traumatic event that's happened to her, and then she said thank you to him because that was the last thing that he said to Chloe, or vice versa.
Yeah.
That's how I got it.
Fair enough. That actually makes sense. That tracks. I like that better then.
Yeah. So, and I liked it. I really liked that that final showdown between the two where, she's like, oh, can you get my son's boat for me? Oh, no, it's in the other pocket. And then she freaking gets the knife and stabs him through the neck. And then she shoots him, and you see that God's view of her trying to paddle away, but he's swimming away, and it's like, don't tell me she can get away. And then he's just like, finally she's got her senses back, and she's able to swim to the shore, and he's just all coughing up blood because he's been shot and stabbed, and then she just says thank you. Because as I said earlier, it's a very minimalistic movie. It's there's not too many, a little bit of action, there's a few explosions. It's very, you can tell that it was done on the cheap, which might take you out a little bit. Like there's the house burning down, which doesn't look real, and then when the cop gets his head bashed in by the thing, that kind of looks really, really fake. It's like you can tell they didn't spend a lot of money on those kind of graphics a little bit.
You know what? That didn't really bother me. What bothered me was the ants. They looked CGI.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. The ant sequence. Yeah, that looks CGI as well. They're not going to cover a woman with ants. So,
if you're dedicated to the craft, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
But that wouldn't be fair for the ants. You need to protect the ants.
Yeah, that's it. Correct. Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was just the pacing was really well. It probably lagged a little bit where they probably went over the same thing a little bit over and over again. That's probably just some small nitpicks, but yeah, I don't think it deserved the hate it got. I think it's only sitting at about a 5.5 on IMDb, which I don't think is very fair. So
what's your score?
I am going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5. So it's not a brilliant movie by any means, but it's a Saturday night in. If it's raining and it's miserable outside and you want to just have something different on, this is a good one to watch.
Yeah, nice. I give it a 3.5 as well. I don't think it's a bad movie, actually. I think it's very effective for a thriller. It has some plot holes and you can nitpick on the convenience of the story, what happens in the story. But for the setup and how it's being carried through, it is very tense and very entertaining, and you're very invested in it. So I enjoy the experience. I've seen it twice. I enjoyed it twice. I think it's a good movie, and it goes by very quickly because you don't really have, except for those car scenes that they become a bit more dialogue heavy that I think is not needed. This is where it slows down a little bit, but it's not overtaking the movie. You're really going back into the tension scenes. So no, it's a good movie to enjoy. It's a good movie to be discovered, I think. So 3.5 out of 5.
Good. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We're going to obviously put a link in our description of where to watch this. Click on that and you can find that on any streaming services. As always, please leave us a comment. What did you think of the movie? Agree, disagree? Any comments are greatly appreciated. Thank you very much.